Okay, team. One more lesson in our scale drawings unit, and this one is all about plans and elevations. This is a interesting lesson, I think, because it gives you a really practical application of the things we've been looking at. This is especially important for anyone considering a career in building or construction, because becoming familiar with reading house plans is going to be very important for you. But I imagine at some point in our lives, all of us would like to buy a house, so being familiar with house plans and how to read them is going to be helpful for all of us. So this is basically what house plans look like. Um, we're going to be dealing with mainly these ones in the middle here. What we have on the left side is the plan, which is a top-down view. And then you also have on this side something called an elevation, which is either a front view or side view. And it shows you how tall everything stands. And that's basically what I just told you. I would like you to write that down though, so just pause on this slide and copy that note down. Let's look at drawing these things from a basic shape. Okay, so we have this stack of 4 blocks here. What does it look like from the top down? From the top down, all you would see is a lineup of 3 blocks. That's the plan view. Okay, that is the view you would see if you were looking down this arrow. Now the front elevation, looking from the front of the blocks, all you would see here is 2 blocks stacked on top of each other. You would see the front of this block and you would see the front of this block, but you wouldn't see anything else. And then if you looked at it from the side, you would probably get the fullest picture because you'll see all 4 of these blocks. Something we want to talk about in this lesson though are building plans. This is a typical building plan for a 4-bedroom home, single story. We want to look at some common symbols here that you'll see on all kinds of house plans. Doors are one of the most important ones. Shows you the door and the direction it opens. You've got important features like shower, toilet, bathtub, kitchen sink as well is another important one. And then you'll also see windows. Sometimes you'll see something a bit like a window that's a bit cut out, and that indicates a sliding door. Those are the main features. So here we have a ground floor of a 2-story home, and we're going to answer some questions by looking at the plan. The first one is how many internal doors are there? So we're just looking for doors that are only inside the house, because it says internal. These doors are external, so they don't count. I can see 4 there. Sometimes you'll see abbreviations on the plan. PWDR, in this case, that abbreviation means powder room. I don't expect you to know that off the top of my head. The only reason I know that is because before I became a teacher, I worked as a carpenter. The powder room is basically, sometimes you'll see a room in a house that's basically just a toilet and a basin. That is a powder room. Um, okay, what is the length of the house? This is where you're going to need to get your ruler out. If you're looking at this on your MacBook, we're probably all going to get different answers. But as long as you've measured it, I don't mind if our answers differ a little bit. So when I measure this by putting a ruler on my screen, the drawing is 12.6 centimeters. That's the drawing length. And the scale here says 1 to 150. So actual length is 12.6 times 150. So that is 1,890 centimeters, or 18.9 meters. I'll answer the last one over here. The dimensions of the double garage, it's the same process as calculating the length of the house. You measure the length of the garage, which is 4 centimeters. So actual length is 4 times 150, which equals 600 centimeters, or 6 meters. And the width of the double garage is about 3.5. So the actual width is 3.5 times 150. Which is 525 centimeters, or 5.25 meters. So see here we're applying a little bit of our scale drawings from our last lesson, but we have looked at it in a very practical context of a house plan. There are a bunch of questions for you guys to do now. A lot of these questions will be quite similar to this one, where you're interpreting a house plan. So if there are some things you don't know, I'm happy to help you out. For example, I think one of the parts of one of these questions asks you what BIR is. I'm going to tell you right now, that is built-in robe or built-in wardrobe. I think that was the only question I saw where there was an abbreviation that you probably wouldn't know off the top of your head. But if you get anything else like that, just stick your hand up and I'll be happy to help you. Thanks, guys.